Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, we have seen so many patterns so far. And if you carefully observe all the patterns we have seen so far, which involves a specific symbol which is of star. So from this video onwards, we will see how we can print some of the patterns which involves numbers. So as part of that, in this video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So to start with, if you carefully see here, we have 5 rows here. For that reason, I will take a variable which is of rows of 5. So later we will take dynamically input from the user. Based on the user input, the pattern will be printed. So for the time being, I will take the rows variable as 5. So later, what I will be doing is that if you see here, we have 5 rows. We have 5 rows. To generate 5 rows, I will use a for loop. So for that reason, I will use for I in range. By using this range method, I will be generating a range of values. So I will generate 1 2 rows plus 1. My range of values will be start with 1 and it will goes until how many number of rows that I am having. If we don't mention plus 1, it will take only the value before how many number of rows that we are having. For that reason, I am mentioning rows plus 1. So in the for loop, what we will be doing is that, so before actually writing the actual logic, let us understand what we have inside of this for loop. So for that, I am printing the value of I. So if you see the output here, we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the new lines in every single line. So what we wanted is that in the first row, I want 1. The second row, I want 2 twos. In the third row, I want 3 threes. In the fourth row, I want 4 fours. The fifth row, I want 5 fives. So if you carefully see this pattern, each row is repeating by how many, what was the value inside of this particular I. So what we generally do when we have repeated statements, we use loops, right? So that is what we will be doing here. We will write a loop to generate these values which are of starting with 1 which goes till I. So that is what we have inside of this I, right? So in the first row I have 1 1. The second row I will get 2 twos by using this particular I value 2. So let us go ahead and see how we can generate that. So for that, I will use a for loop. I will take the value as j in range. I will start with 1 and I will go till I plus 1. So as you know, if I just put I don't go actual value of I before value of I only. For that reason, I am mentioning I plus 1. By mentioning I plus 1 on each iteration, I will go till the value of I. So inside this, what I will be doing is that I will just print the value of I. So because our concern is only to print this particular values here, right? So for that reason, I am only printing the value of I here. So if I execute this, I can able to get the values in this new lines like this. So actually we have actually got the pattern, but we need to arrange that. So if you carefully see here, we have 1 1, we have 2 twos, we have 3 threes, like that we are actually getting the all values, but the only thing we need to do is that we need to arrange them properly as the pattern that we wanted. So for that I will be using a end. If you watch the video about print formatting, you can actually understand this end. This end actually separate the value of end here. So what I'm mentioning is that on each value of end, I wanted to divide the value with spaces, not actually new line character. So if I execute this, I will get every value in a single line. So this is also not what we wanted, but we actually want something different like this pattern. So for that, if you carefully see here, we are going inside of this for loop and we are printing everything in the inner for loop, but we are actually not printing anything in this outer for loop. If we print a new line in this outer for loop, we can actually get the pattern that what we wanted. So for that, what I will be doing is that I will make a print statement here. If we just keep this print statement like this, it will by default generate a new line character. So now if I execute this, I can able to get the pattern that what we wanted. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this particular pattern. So let me explain quickly one more time for you. So here we have identified 5 rows we are having in this pattern. Later we are using a for loop which to generate how many number of rows that we are having. This I will generate the rows how many number we are having. Instead of this for loop, we are also using one more loop to generate this rows values. So by taking the support of this I, which is of to generate rows values, inside of this for loop, inner for loop, we are actually printing I value, which will generate this particular pattern. So by we are doing some kind of modification by mentioning end and a new line character in outer for loop, we are actually getting this particular pattern. So now I will do what I will be doing is that I will take dynamically input from the user. Based on the user input, we will change the pattern accordingly. So for that, what I will be taking is that I am mentioning int input input. I am asking user to any number of rows. So if I execute this, was asking to enter any number of rows. I am giving value as 6. So you can able to observe we are actually getting the pattern 1, 1, 2. I like this. We are getting the values at 6 at the last, right? So if I give one more value, let's say 9 here, so still we can able to get the pattern that what we have expected. So I hope you have liked this video. If that is true, hit the like button. In the next video, what we will be doing is that we will see how we can print this particular pattern. To stay updated, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications, so whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.